Hello everyone, today's video is going to be another installment of my chopping block series. I just want to put it out there that this little shiny thing on my face, this has been lingering on for like a week, and I have been putting like 3 pimple patches on it a day, and it is just so big. And at this point, if you guys don't understand, or if you guys don't know, when you put a pimple patch on, like the skin under the pimple patch is like a different skin than the rest of your skin. So your makeup never sits right, and it makes me so mad. But it's at the stage where the entire thing is just really shiny. It doesn't matter how much I powder it, and I'll take some like translucent powder here and try and powder her down. She is still shiny. I can't get away from it. Also, I am in a hate relationship with my mascara. Can you see the amount that is on my eyelid? And for the life of me, I cannot get it off my eyelid. It's a lot easier to take mascara off your eyelid when you have shimmers on there. But today, I really wanted this very prominent pop of green on the inner corner, and the rest of the eye is very, very simple. But that has nothing to do with this palette. The palette that we are on the chopping block today is the BH Mimosa palette. BH has not really been a brand in a few years, and I got this when it was still at Ulta. BH used to be sold at Ulta, if you did not know, and I got this at Ulta. I would assume it was gonna be pretty close to when they actually like discontinued everything and went out of business low-key, before they got sold from Makeup Revolution, because I got the other 2 palettes in this collection at TJ Maxx / Marshalls. But this here is the palette. I have 3 pans in here. This is a palette that I've had for a very, very, very long time, and so I have had plenty of chances to give it love, and I have 3 pans in this palette. This used to be like a favorite palette of mine. I reached for it all the time. And I don't know if you can see because of the background, but some of the shades have a little bit of a dip in it. But all I remember is when I was trying to hit pan on We Heart Brunch, this took forever and a half. But this palette, honestly, I could have used this for my neutral setup today, but I didn't. I should have used I Heart Brunch to kind of just buff into my crease and use this other palette for the green. But neither here nor there. When I have something in the chopping block, it is for a multitude of reasons. So it could be of age, could be because of age, which is why this was in the chopping block. It could be something that I don't reach for and I wanted to see quality, and do I even still like the palette, which is another reason why this is in the chopping block. I just don't really reach for my BH Cosmetics palettes, and this and the 2 other ones that were in the same series are all in the chopping block. One of them survived in January, and which makes me feel like I have to keep them all, which I don't really want to have that mindset, because I don't have to keep them all. If I really like the one and not the others, and I don't have to keep them all to keep them as a set, but I feel like they're all siblings and I can't remove them. Luckily for me and for you guys, I really like this palette. I really enjoyed the looks I did. And when these palettes are in the chopping block, I do at least 3 looks with them to get my bearings, because there are some palettes in the chopping block where I just don't like the color story, or something is not sitting right with me. So actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different palettes so far this year that was on the chopping block are now gone. They're decluttered for one reason or another. But this one does get to stay, which is very, very exciting. I want to show you guys all 3 of the looks that I did, and I did them over the last 3 days. Something that I have, I guess, kind of noticed about this chopping block is because I was trying to do them once a month. I did not get anything done in June in terms of chopping blockness. Part of me feels like the only reason why I use this is because I wanted to make the chopping block video. And I felt like this was going to be like the perfect time to do it. So was I naturally reaching for this 3 times? No, I did not. Because usually if I naturally reach for a palette once, I just keep it on my desk for an extra 2 uses. I kind of like forced myself to use this, but when I forced myself to use it, I really liked the looks that I did, and there are 3 very different looks in my opinion. And this is just a good summer palette. It's very fun, it's very bright. So I want to show you the 3 looks that I did with this palette because I think they are very, very fun. So the first look I did, I was wearing a red shirt, and I do like to match my makeup to what I'm wearing. So I really wanted to focus on this shade right here. It's called Pomegranate. It is the most red looking shade out of this entire palette. And I used these 3 shades here, and then I used the white for the inner corner. When you're doing a red sort of look, in my opinion, I feel like you need to have a white inner rim to really brighten up your eyes so you don't look sick or dead or anything because of the amount of reds that are on your eyes. Putting this white in the inner corner really makes things pop. And honestly, this is one of the only matte whites in my collection. I really should go through and find other matte whites, which is a big reason why I am keeping this palette, is because this matte white is so good. I really like using a white in the inner corner when I'm doing more red, pink sort of looks. I really love this look, and I wish you guys could see the absolute flip of this shadow. Hopefully you can kind of see in the video, but it's like a peachy pink color, and then when it hits the light, it's like this golden orange. Very unique to the palette. I think it looked really pretty, and having that all over the lid as like a statement shade was really, really nice, and I really like that color, and I think it looked really, really pretty. The next thing I used were all the yellows and oranges. Usually when I use this palette, I always do a like strawberry lemonade sort of look. I do yellow on the inner half, pink on the outer half. I really did not want to do that again because that is a go-to look for me in this palette. So I decided to full send on the orange yellow look. So I ended up using this more brown sort of color to deepen everything up. The orange as a transitional shade, this gold champagne. I love how it's called champagne, but it's not a champagne, it is a gold, yellow gold. And then I use this yellow to blend everything out. It is a very intense yellowy orangey look, and I love this look. I think yellow is such a fun color, and I really need to incorporate it as a full look more often. I usually just incorporate yellow in like a yellow and green or a yellow and blue or like a strawberry lemonade sort of look. I incorporate yellow in other colors, but I usually don't incorporate it by itself. And this really encompasses that part of this palette, when in other terms I usually mix it with the other shades in the palette. So I did like how I made a very warm, summery, orangey yellow look. It was really, really pretty. The look I did yesterday, I really, really want this shade right here. I really wanted to use this. I feel like out of the entire palette, I think this is a little bit of a one-off color because it is more purple. You have your neutrals in here. You can make a simple neutral look with these 3 shades. I've done it before. It looks very pretty. You have a lot of pinks and peach leaning shades. And then you have your orange and yellows, which, you know, I already made a look with those. But then you have this purple, and the purple is just a little weird in this palette. You can definitely pair it in, and I did pair it in with my look. But I really wanted to do something different with this palette and with this specific color, so this was my focus shade. The shade Raspberry, I feel like, is the only shade that would really pair well with this purple color in the span that I wanted to use it. So I used Raspberry as my deepener up shade, used the purple color to blend it out, and then I used the shades Fizzy and I Heart Brunch. And I made this like more subtle halo eye. I wish I incorporated more of the raspberry on my outer portion of my lid, like my outer corner, because I feel like raspberry was pretty heavily considered in the inner corner. So I think that's a little much, but I overall really enjoyed this look. I really like it, and I don't really do halo eyes. I don't really incorporate those in like my day-to-day because they, in my opinion, they take a little bit too much time, and in my opinion they're a little harder to maneuver. Something simple like what I did today, or my classic like light, middle, dark, sorry to flip you off, but that's usually the version I go on my eyes. I very rarely do a halo eye. I really wanted to test my limits, do something different, and I think that highlighted, this shadow highlighted the entire look so well. Out of this palette, the only shades that I did not use Vibes, which is just a matte peach shade. I did not use Cheers, which is more of the most lackluster shade in the entire palette. It's technically a shimmer, but it doesn't have much going for it in my opinion. It's very, very, I don't know, basic, boring. Bottomless and Guava I did not use either. Those are really pretty. They're more pink sort of shades. I could have done an entire look with these 3 colors and called it a day. And then I don't think I used I Heart Brunch at all, which is one with pan, and I really like that color. But I did not do a neutral look with this palette. I really like this palette. Do I reach for it as often as I should? No. I really forget about these BH Cosmetics palettes, but these are very special to me, especially this one because my fiance bought it for me many moons ago, and I just have like an emotional attachment to this palette for some reason. It is still good. It is still performing. I know there's a lot of people, their BH Cosmetics palettes are declining in quality, which is why this is in the chopping block. Honestly, if I continue to do my chopping block series into next year, this will probably be on it again, just so I am reminded to use it. It is not a palette I just naturally reach for on a whim, and honestly all my BH Cosmetics palettes would probably be on the chopping block again. But for the time being, I am going to keep this. This is a palette that I really do enjoy. I really liked all 3 of my looks. And there are cases where I don't like some of the looks that I have made within this chopping block series. And if you're interested in any of my other chopping block videos, I will leave my playlist linked down below. Because you guys have really been enjoying the chopping block series. And I started it like on a whim. And my intro video got quite a lot of feedback that I really should continue doing this, and you guys really wanted to see all the videos, and then my videos tend to do pretty good, which makes me excited to see you guys watch me go through my entire collection with some of these palettes. Like, do I really want them or not? See the looks that I've done with these palettes. It just makes me really happy that you guys really like these videos. But for the time being, this is staying. This is going to be a shorter video because there is not much to say. The only other palettes I have on my chopping block currently is BH Avocado Toast, which is their sibling. And then I have a ColourPop Cabana Club palette, which that is definitely more of a summer palette. That one will probably be next. I hope to finish in August, but I can't make any promises. But Cabana Club is definitely more of a summer palette. I really should start using it now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, today's chopping block. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you subscribe. I do a lot of makeup related content, eyeshadow related content. If you guys enjoyed, please like this video, hype it up so more people can find it. Comment down below, do you still have any of the BH Cosmetics palettes? And do you still use them on a regular basis? Are they on your chopping block? What is on your chopping block? I love hearing you guys chat about things in the comment section, and I love responding to all of you guys. But I love and appreciate you all so much, and I shall see you guys next time.